Hundreds of Muslim and African illegal immigrants are entering Lithuania from Belarus daily. Today, 40 Afghani illegal immigrants were caught in Poland after they passed from Belarus. On Saturday, June 26, Lithuanian border control officers detained 39 migrants from Belarus who had illegally crossed the border. The overwhelming majority of those detained asked for asylum in Lithuania. 2 were from Gambia, 4 were from Guinea, 2 were from Morocco, and 17 were from Iraq. As of June 27, 2021, 555 illegal immigrants from Belarus had crossed into Lithuania. Out of these, 328 were Iraqi. Also detained were 46 Iranians, 42 Syrians, 39 Belarusians, 17 Russians, 11 people from Turkey, 10 Sri Lankans, 6 Tajikis, 3 Afghans, 2 Yemenis, and 1 Somalian citizen. As of July 5th, Lithuanian border guard reported that he had detained 134 migrants in 1 day and 416 in 4 days. This is a drastic increase. What is going on? As you probably know, the relationship between Belarus and the EU have deteriorated greatly recently, with kidnappings, sanctions against Belarusian tobacco and potash, accusations of Western-backed color revolutions, CIA murder plots, and more. In late May, there were reports of Lukashenko threatening to flood Europe with migrants in retaliation for Western sanctions. So you might be wondering, is it easy to cross the Belarus-EU border? Yes it is. You take a flight from Baghdad to Minsk, pay thousands of dollars to corrupt Belarusian border guards, and it's very easy to run across this border and get into the EU. Of course, you will very quickly get detained by the Lithuanian or Polish guards. You'll probably stand out quite a bit of someone from Ghana in eastern Poland, but that is part of the plan. Virtually all the illegal immigrants I've mentioned applied for asylum status immediately. Right now, you could get from Baghdad International to the EU asylum process in less than 24 hours. This is much better than alternative routes into Europe. And I'm sure the news is spreading fast. Let's see what Lukashenko has to say about it. I will quote from the press release on president.gov.by released today. You see, our neighbors have started whining, primarily Lithuania and others there, about Belarus, saying that we are facilitating migration to Lithuania. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, they announced that they would speed up the registration of those coming from Belarus. Who do you send this signal to? If you declare to the whole world that you will register those who make their routes through Belarus even faster, they will keep going. You are opening the door for these migrants even wider. Lukashenko said that Belarus will continue dealing with the main challenges on the border. But someone thinks that we will close the border with Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Ukraine and become a filtration camp for fugitives from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Tunisia. They are mistaken at least. We will not hold anyone. We are not their final destination after all. They are headed to the enlightened, warm, cozy Europe. On the one hand, Europe invited them there, there were not enough workers. On the other, they have destroyed these countries. They effectively ruined Afghanistan and withdrew their troops. You can see what's happening there. Now the Central Asian republics of the former Soviet Union are barely holding back this flow of refugees. People flee the war and run to where they have been invited. The European Union pays allowances for those who arrive there. Well, Lukashenko's kind of a dick, but I think he is right about at least 2 things. 1. That the way the EU has and will respond to this will make more people come here. Lithuania responded by making the process to get asylum quicker and easier. Look at this camp in Lithuania. It looks much nicer than Africa or Afghanistan. The second thing Lukashenko said that is true is that we help destroy these countries. We need to be honest about this. Why are there so many refugees from Iraq? When I was a kid, I was anti-war and bought into Noam Chomsky's no war for oil. Now, I realize the primary objective of the wars in the Middle East to destroy countries like Saddam's Iraq was to secure Israel's safety. Look at this map. The Scud missile that Saddam had launched at Israel in the 90s. A strong, powerful, rich, developing Iraq with an existential threat for tiny Israel. I think we need to hold the people responsible for these crimes responsible. When Rumsfeld died, we should have said, oh, well, hope he's burning in hell. Paul Wolfowitz, Douglas Fife, Richard Pearl. These people should be persona non grata in Europe. The media that lied to start a war. And it's not just past crimes. These criminals now want us to destroy Assad, Syria, and Iran as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do widzenia.